He was one of the best receivers in the league. Hunter Renfrow was unguardable.
Hey, they can't stop us.
But suddenly, it all fell apart.
Hunter Renfrow has been informed of his release.
It seemed like his career was over.
And I was like, man, I do not want to play football again.
Hunter Renfrow last year got down to 150 pounds, allegedly.
After a full year away from football, the Pro Bowl receiver is back. Welcome to the untold story of Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow was born in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where he developed a love for football at a young age. His dream was simple: play receiver for the biggest program in Carolina, Clemson University.
I tell people it started in the backyard, just being able to play receiver in the backyard, and I really enjoyed it.
But in high school, he didn't play receiver. His dad, who was also the head coach, made him the quarterback because he was one of the better athletes on the field. Hunter didn't throw much. He just used his speed and outran everybody. But there was one problem. He was crazy undersized. So scouts rated him a 2-star recruit, and he got some offers from small D1 schools like App State, Gardner-Webb, Presbyterian, and Wofford. And unfortunately, Clemson didn't offer him a scholarship. And that's where he made an interesting decision. He wanted to chase his dream. So he bet on himself and went to Clemson as a walk-on. Hunter made it to campus, fired up to play for his dream school. But in a room full of 5-star recruits, he had to work his way up from the bottom.
I was wearing number 35, which no receiver really wears 35.
He had a lot of work to do at receiver, but more importantly, he was still crazy undersized. At his first practice, somebody actually thought he was the water boy. So Dabo Swinney made the call to redshirt his freshman year.
We're just going to throw you in the weight room for a year. He just had to get stronger.
Hunter used that year just to improve. He played on the scout team and actually embraced that role. Every day he was going up against Clemson's elite defense. And little by little, he started to make plays. Hunter actually used being a walk-on as a mental advantage. He stated, "No one expected anything. They didn't invest any money in me, so if I sucked, no one cared. I could just play free without any expectations." When the year was over, Hunter had added size and proved he can play. So just before the next season, his hard work got rewarded.
I got one more in my back pocket right here. It's going to Hunter Renfrow. Hunter is a great example of don't judge a book by its cover, right? Yeah. See, damn sure don't look like a football player.
Now weighing 175 pounds, Hunter was ready to play. He was still one of the smallest players on the field, but he used it to his advantage. His size and quickness forced him to be technical, and it helped him develop into an elite route runner. He knew how to get open, and he quickly became Deshaun Watson's third down target. And those crucial third downs helped Clemson reach college football's biggest stage. The walk-on had made it to a national championship.
I remember being in bed the night before the national championship and just kind of being like, I don't know if I'm ready for this moment.
Takes a downfield shot, Renfrow the end zone.
Hunter played an amazing game, not scoring 1, but 2 touchdowns in the Natty, cementing his name in college football history. But in a close game, Clemson came up short and lost the game 45-40. The next year, Hunter didn't put up crazy numbers, but similarly, he was still there on those clutch moments. And again, those crucial moments helped Clemson reach the national championship, where they faced a familiar powerhouse, the University of Alabama, this time led by Jalen Hurts. And when the lights were the brightest, he shocked the world again. Clemson was down 17-7, but Renfrow sparked a comeback when he scored a 24-yard touchdown in the third quarter. Bama fought back, taking a 31-28 lead with just 2 minutes left. Down 3, Clemson marched down the field, and with just 6 seconds left, he had to make a choice. Kick the field goal and go to OT, or risk it all and go for the win. Dabo Swinney made the ballsy call to just go for it. With seconds on the clock, Deshaun Watson took the snap, and he looked one way.
Snap rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter Renfrow caught it! Touchdown! Touchdown!
It's almost surreal. It's almost like it didn't happen. It was a dream.
Hunter's name was everywhere after that game. But in person, people still couldn't believe it was actually him.
I said my name and he still didn't have a clue for a while. And then he asked me, was I Hunter Renfrow? And he was like, I thought you were a little bigger than that.
In his final year, Hunter made the national championship again. And guess who he's playing? The University of Alabama. Now with Trevor Lawrence, he sweeps them. And he wins his second national championship as a walk-on. It was time for the next step. Hunter declared for the NFL draft. He didn't know if he would go in the 4th round or undrafted. All he knew is that he needed one opportunity.
I remember going through a list of, like, where do I not want to go? And I remember me and Camilla came to consensus that the Raiders were the #1 team we did not want to go to.
Hey, Hunter.
Hey.
This is John Gruden with the Oakland Raiders. How you doing, man?
With the 149th pick in the 5th round, Hunter Renfrow was selected by the Raiders. And of course, he had to hear about his looks one more time.
We love who you are as a person, and despite the fact that you look like Doogie Howser, we traded up to get you.
But surprisingly, he doesn't get upset with the jokes. He actually embraces the comedy.
I know I'd look like I don't belong, and it's funny to me because if I was in someone else's shoes, I'd be making fun of myself too.
Looks aside, Hunter Renfrow made it to the NFL. And just like Clemson, he had to earn a spot once again. Of all years to be a rookie, Hunter's first season was featured on HBO's Hard Knocks. And like every rookie, he had to participate in the rookie show, which wasn't really good.
Lean on me when we're not strong.
He had fun with it. And of course, his looks were the next thing to get roasted.
We have Hunter Renfrow.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
There's no chance you're 23.
I'm 23.
You're at least 36.
I'm really not that old. It's just our hairline.
Derek Carr and Hunter actually became good friends, so much that they even carpooled to practice together. Carr always joked that Hunter looked old, but when they pulled up to the facility one day, the security guard didn't agree.
And we drive by the security guy. Derek kind of says hey and waves him through, and he looks in the window and says, "Hey, you got your son with you today." And I look at him and I'm like, do I look that young?
Which made me think, does Hunter look old or does he look young? I don't know, you tell me. Anyway, in the meantime, Hunter was balling in camp. He earned respect with his hard work and showed he could get open. So in week 1, Hunter was a starter, but it didn't really go like he wanted. He struggled with drops and he didn't feel like he played freely.
I know Coach Gruden wants me to run it like this. I know, they want me to run it like this, but I'm going to be out of the league in about 5 games if I keep doing it like that. I'm terrible. I'm going to just put some tweaks here and there.
By the end of the season, that decision paid off. He had back-to-back games over 100 yards and a touchdown to close out the year. He looked like a breakout candidate that could go crazy in year 2. But instead, his second season was quite similar. Don't get me wrong, he was still that reliable target on 3rd downs. As a 5th rounder, he exceeded expectations. But he knew he could do more. He stayed patient, kept grinding, knowing his time would come. In his 3rd year in the NFL, Hunter was getting more confident. Coaches gave him more freedom, and the chemistry with Carr was really paying off. He was getting more targets, and suddenly, the game was slowing down. And that's when Hunter became a real problem. In week 1, he made one of the best plays of the year when he stopped a fake punt on special teams, showing his football IQ. But his real magic came at receiver. Every week, he was cooking DBs. Left, right, shaking free, and creating separation. His routes started to go viral, and memes were popping up everywhere. But it wasn't just fans. Stars around the league respected his game too.
Guys like Renfrow that can...
Hunter Renfrow, the encyclopedia sells me.
Turn the film on, you watch film on him?
Hunter kept showing up in big moments, helping the Raiders make the playoffs for the first time since 2016. He finished the season with 1,038 yards, 103 receptions, and 9 touchdowns. The 5th rounder was now an elite receiver. And that hard work was rewarded with a Pro Bowl.
The Pro Bowl was cool. It's something that I never really dreamed of. I dreamed of playing at Clemson. That really was my dream as a kid, was to play at Clemson. You get paid a little bit, and so on a rookie contract, that's a lot of money, especially if you win too. So I was over there like stressing on the 4th quarter, like if we need to, I'm gonna go 100%.
He won the game and made an extra $80K, but what stood out wasn't the money or the win. It was the fact that for some reason, he kept feeling tired. Hunter proved he was an elite receiver, and the Raiders rewarded him with elite receiver money.
Hunter Renfrow gained a 2-year, $32 million extension that includes $21 million guaranteed from the Las Vegas Raiders.
But despite the payday, Hunter Renfrow stayed Hunter Renfrow. His buddy Foster Moreau, who played tight end for the Raiders at the time, brought him to the airport right after his signing. And he was surprised when he heard about his seats.
And I was like, where's your seat? He's like, oh, I think it's like, I don't know, 37D. You're sitting in the middle. bro, you just signed you just got a $9 million contract bonus.
He stayed humble, and he was ready to continue building his success. And with the changes the team made, it looked like the stars aligned. Josh McDaniels came in as the new head coach, a guy who had coached players like Danny Amendola and Julian Edelman. Renfrow looked like the perfect fit for his system. Also, the Raiders brought in Davante Adams, one of the best receivers in the league that could draw plenty of double teams. Davante was fired up to play with Hunter, but one thing he'll never do again is let him take care of their Ubers.
How you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good.
No.
Head to your drop if at Topgolf.
You deserve better, Hunter.
It looked like this would be the best route running duo in the league. But in just the second game of the season, things started to go downhill. In overtime against the Cardinals, Hunter fumbled. And just 2 plays later, he fumbled again. Not only did they lose the game, but Hunter also suffered a concussion. And he even got criticized for it.
If I dropped the ball in back-to-back plays, I'd be like, hey, doctor, come over here. Evaluate me. Let all the media know that you're evaluating me for a concussion. I want everyone to see me being evaluated for a concussion. So they got slippery fingers.
He came back in week 5, but the Raiders were still struggling. The offense didn't click. And with Davante Adams on the other side, Hunter wasn't getting the opportunities. Then in week 9, things got even worse. Hunter suffered an oblique injury, which was new because Hunter never got injured. It felt like something was off with his body. He ended up missing 5 games. He came back in week 14, but the situation was worse. Carr had been benched and the team wasn't performing. He finished the season with only 330 yards and just 2 touchdowns. He felt like he let his teammates down. Could he bounce back, or was he just a one-year wonder? Coming off his worst year in the league, Hunter was ready to bounce back, but things weren't exactly working in his favor. The Raiders traded away his buddy Derek Carr to the Saints, and they also brought in more receiver talent in Jacoby Myers. Now with Adams and Myers on the field, his opportunities declined even more. But it wasn't just Renfrow having the tough year, it was the entire organization.
Breaking news into the CBS 13 newsroom, the Raiders have fired head coach Josh McDaniels and general manager Dave Ziegler this evening.
All of that translated into an even worse year for Hunter Renfrow. He played all 17 games, but finished with just 25 catches, 255 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Once again, he really felt like he let his teammates down. And after 2 underwhelming seasons, he got the painful news.
Hunter Renfrow has been informed of his release.
How does a Pro Bowl receiver go from over 1,000 yards to barely 250? People started making up narratives. Some said he never recovered from that concussion. Others blamed the coaching staff for ruining his career. Some even claimed he got the bag and dipped. And that's when Hunter finally came out and revealed everything. Hunter had been battling something way bigger than football. He revealed that after his breakout year in 2021, he was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, a serious autoimmune disease that attacks the digestive system. Since 2021, he felt constant fatigue, but he didn't want to let people down. He knew the expectations he had after signing that big contract, so he kept quiet and tried to fight through it for 2 years. Eventually, his body just couldn't keep up anymore, and when the Raiders released him, he hit rock bottom.
And I was like, man, I do not want to play football again. Like, I do not want to let people down. I want to just go over here in my corner and do what I do, get into business.
Which is exactly what he did after his release. He joined ESS Industrial, a South Carolina-based recycling company owned by his cousin Kyle Renfrow. Hunter became the head of business development, and surprisingly, he enjoyed it. Similar to football, it felt like a brotherhood, and he could channel his competitive nature in a new way. Off the field, he spent time with his family and focused on his faith. And that's where Hunter found peace. He knew that after football, his life would be okay. So mentally, he was in a great space. But physically, his body was breaking down even more. His weight dropped to 150 pounds. And the inflammation was so bad that he even ended up on the ER multiple times. And that's when the doctors decided to put him on an infusion called Entyvio. And slowly, his body started to heal.
I went from 150 and then by September, October, I went up to 200 pounds because I hadn't been able to eat for 3 years, and now I was eating everything I could find.
He started to feel like himself again, and the football thoughts started creeping in. He went to a high school football game, and that really sparked something.
And I was like, man, they're having fun. Like, that's what I used to do. I used to have fun playing this game.
Hunter realized he didn't want to go out like that. He started working out at Clemson and he got in better shape. He even thought about joining a team late last year, but he figured out he could use OTAs and preseason to get better. Ironically, just as he was making progress, rumors came out that he retired from football. It actually made headlines and people thought it was true. It's crazy how people just make up these narratives, but Hunter broke his silence with a tweet saying, "Just when I thought about making a comeback, I get hit with this bombshell. Guess I shouldn't have started working out again 2 months ago, lol." As he kept training, the Carolina Panthers invited him for a workout. It felt like the perfect fit, a chance to play close to home and stay near his family. After the workout, the Panthers offered him a shot. So Hunter signed a 1-year, $1.2 million deal with $50,000 guaranteed. So now, Hunter joins Bryce Young and a stacked receiver room. Will he reach that Pro Bowl level again? That's not his focus. And like stated before, it has never been. Hunter always asks himself 2 simple questions. Number 1, am I being a great teammate? Number 2, am I helping us win? As long as he can say yes to both questions, his year is a success. Right now, that's all he's focused on. After a year away from football, Hunter is excited, but mostly grateful to be back playing the game he loves. Man, Renfrow is one of the most interesting comeback stories this season, and I'm just so happy he cleared the air on why he didn't play last season, right? Because there were so many narratives going on and why he didn't perform anymore and that he retired, and people just ran with these narratives. So I'm happy he cleared the air. If y'all new to the channel, welcome to More Than Athletes. This is a platform where I'm humanizing athletes through storytelling. This is my second video on the channel, and thank you so much to everyone who watched the first video. I never thought I'd reach that many people with my first video. Got so much love and likes and comments from people who support what I'm doing and support what I'm trying to build, and that means so much to me, man. So if you want to keep supporting me, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, comment which story you want me to cover next. I love football, but I might dabble into some other sports too, like basketball or MMA, whatever, because there are so many great athlete stories out there, right? So I'm working hard to bring you guys more stories. Also follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I make a lot of like short stories there, like 60-second stories. And yeah, appreciate y'all. Have a blessed day.